Hey Project Tumble Crew, hope you enjoyed our little bit of our Halloween introduction there. Just a bit of fun. I know that not everyone celebrates Halloween, but I certainly did with my boys and it was a bit of fun. Rightio, Hive stream number 5. What are we going to do today? It's a bit of a shorter Hive stream. We're going to talk about Varroa and what's changed since last time we discussed this topic. We're also going to look at the leaderboard, see how that's changing, and talk a little bit about merch. And of course, there's a student section in there as well. So let's jump in. Hope you enjoy.
"15 months responding to outbreaks and more than $100 million spent, but the battle to slay Varroa Mite is lost."
Now is the time to abandon minimisation by eradication and instead move to minimisation of harm through management.
There's been growing pressure to end the large-scale destruction of beehives.
I definitely feel that it could have happened earlier.
Some beekeepers are expected to be hit harder than others.
The ones that have only been euthanized within the last couple of weeks, that's going to be a very hard call. So especially commercial guys, I think we really need to revisit the compensation.
It turns out the pest has been in the Kempsey region for 7 months longer than was known.
That has allowed the mite to spread faster and further than what our tracing has been able to keep up with.
Interstate beekeepers concede the change was inevitable.
We had no other choice than to accept that Varroa had beaten us. It was Varroa 1, Beekeeper 0.
In place of culling, beekeepers will have to control the mite in their hives with chemical strips, and bee numbers will fall. There are implications for pollinated crops across the country.
It will bring extra costs to beekeepers, extra costs to food producers, and extra costs to consumers.
But not everyone agrees with the decision.
You watch the amateur beekeeper side of things go downhill very, very quickly.
It's estimated that if left unchecked, Varroa Mite could cost the bee and crop industries $5.2 billion over the next 30 years.
We can significantly reduce that risk by slowing the spread
and limiting the fallout of a pest that's now here to stay. Emily Doak, ABC News, Wagga Wagga.
So let's talk a little bit about Varroa. Now, I know that when we started this thing, we were talking as I was visiting your schools around how we were not able to host our hives in our area because of Varroa and the response that was being undertaken by the DPI, which was in essence their effort of trying to get rid of Varroa. But since last time we spoke, those plans have now changed. And the reason that they've changed is that the people, the DPI, the people in charge of the response, have decided that it is no longer viable to get rid of Varroa. So I guess as beekeepers, we're going to need to learn to live with them. Now, how that looks in an Australian context, we're not sure because it's obviously new to our shores, but we do have a lot of research and understanding from overseas countries. So we know that Varroa will weaken a colony over a period of time. If there's too many Varroa mites inside the colony, it can be quite detrimental, big fancy word for bad for a colony. It might impact the ability of a colony to continue to raise brood. It might impact the yield or the honey yield that we get in if they're dealing with a lot of Varroa mites. So us as beekeepers, we're going to be watching this space very closely. And there are a number of, I guess, level ups that we can help with their colonies, some of which are what we call organic and some of which are called synthetic and some of which are a little genetic, which means that you're picking bees that are able to manage it better than others. So I think moving forward, we're going to be doing all three of those approaches, just so that we are on top of helping our bees be as productive and as useful in the ecosystem as possible. It's an exciting time, a bit scary for beekeepers, but we're going to work through it together. So today I just wanted to let you know that has happened, and I will be talking with your school and your teachers around what we might be able to do now, the new possibilities around where we could put your hives. So this is good, okay. I know there'll be lots of questions about Varroa Mite itself, and you are more than welcome to write in. We expect that there might be a foraging lesson just around Varroa Mite and what it does to bees, because I think there's so much kind of to unpack there. But in essence, it's something that is like a parasite, so like a leech, like a tick, that requires something from the host. So it gets its nutrients from the host. In this case, it's the bee, and in doing so actually weakens the host. In this case, our bees. So there are tricky times ahead, but I think it's still a exciting spot that we've got new possibilities.
How many bees have Varroa Mite, and how many have had Varroa Mite?
Okay, Hamilton North. I didn't quite catch your name, but great question. And seeing as we've just done a lesson section on Varroa, you now understand what's changed, and you also understand what Varroa Mite is. But to answer your question specifically, it's very hard to know. I think we got up to about 200 infected premises of many thousands of hives tested in Australia. So when an infected premises is marked as someone having Varroa, it's not just a couple of Varroa inside that hive. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of Varroa. They are a parasite, which means they live with the bees, as you guys have just learnt. So none of our hives currently have Varroa, at least from the testing we have done. But because Varroa is something now that we are learning to live with, it is inevitable, big fancy word for saying we are expecting that all of our hives at some point will have Varroa, and it is up to us as beekeepers to decide whether or not we are going to help our bees with this pest that they are not used to living with. Thanks for your question. The next question, we have a text question, which means that they have been sent in via email. These all come from Hinton Public School. I'm going to combine 3 questions here because they're all very much related. So Sienna has asked, how long is a bee's stinger? Now, it's very small. In terms of the actual measurement, I think it's around 2 to 3 millimeters long. So if you get your ruler out, you're looking at the centimeter measurement and then the breakdowns of the millimeters. So there's 10 millimeters in every centimeter. So 2 to 3 mils is quite small, but there are other aspects of the stinger that get attached. So we're just talking about the part that gets stuck into your skin with that measurement. Jara asks, how do you get it out? What's the best way of getting it out? So when I say other aspects of the stinger, so there's the part that gets hooked into our skin. There's also like a venom sac and kind of a trail that pumps the venom in. So when you are, or if you ever have the unfortunate feeling of being stung by a bee, you'll look down into your hand, you'll see the stinger, and you'll see like there's this stuff attached to it. Now, if you squeeze and remove the stinger, which a lot of people would kind of do, they'd pinch it, it's actually going to squeeze more venom in to your body. So the best way of removing the stinger is to scratch it out. And if you're scratching it out, you reduce the likelihood of getting all of that venom squished in. And the last question from Hinton around the process of a sting, and that kind of explains how you get stung, is alara. And so bee on your skin, panic situation, bee has little choice other than trying to get rid of you, and they instinctively will sting you, and in doing so push their stinger into your skin. Now, because it's a barb stinger, it gets stuck in your skin, bee pulls away and it actually rips out part of, I guess, their body in that process, so the bee will die. So probably not a choice that they really wanted to make, but felt that they had to make. You've got the stinger in, you've got that venom sac, and if you get quickly to it, you can scratch that stinger out before all the venom gets pushed into your skin or into your body, and it will reduce the likelihood of a big kind of swollen part. Now, we get stung a fair bit because a lot of the time we'll be using no gloves, but you know, you shouldn't be stung by bees unless you're putting them in a scenario where they feel like they have no choice. Sometimes you'll be stung when you tread on a bee, and that's kind of their last-ditch effort to get you away. But in doing so, they're going to end up dying as well. So great questions from Hinton. I think we'll keep it for those 4 questions for this week's student voice section. So thank you. If you've got a question, be sure to send it in. It can come in via email, it can come in via video, it can come in through socials. and I know that there are lots of questions out there because every time I visit your schools, you have so many great sharp questions. So keep them coming because I think you'll find that other people, just like you, probably have the same question. Thanks. Let's have a look. So we're on our website, we're going to jump into bees, and quite a bit's changed since last time. So as you'll see, the leaderboard, I guess the figures or the data has been updated, and we're going to change the way in which we update that now so that as the honey is coming in, I'm keeping the leaderboard much more relevant. Previously, I've been waiting until the colony updates and the hive streams to kind of press refresh on these, but what will happen now is each time I visit an apiary, and if we're lucky enough to get honey off, once I bottle it up and weigh it, I will make the adjustments on the leaderboard right then and there, and then you will see that honey coming through to your school. So yeah, Queen Beyonce, I'm not sure if she was at the top last time, but she's at the top now, followed by Queen Ruby and Queen Elizabeth and Queen Mip, which is all in there as well. Obviously, your colony is in here as well, but I wanted to just kind of let you or reassure you that these numbers will quickly change now that we're in spring and summer. This is normally a very good time of the year, and although your colonies are very new, they are all looking like they're ready to capture the season. So often with beekeepers, when we start a new colony, we advise them that it's not until the next season that they're able to really capture some of the honey, but that's not the case. All of your hives, every single one of them, has done a good job of waxing out that honey super, and we're now able to capture any nectar flows. So Queen Beyonce currently has 14 kilograms that has been delivered from their hive to their school or to the clinic. Same with Queen Ruby. Queen Elizabeth's on 13, Queen Mip's on 13, Brokey Bee 10, and as you can go down, you'll see that the numbers change. But this is the area that will be the most variable. And what do I mean by that? As time goes on, honey count will be a very important part on where we sit in the leaderboard. Frames of brood kind of max out. This section here, brood frame excess, is an important part, and I do explain it in the colony check-ins. If your hive has had a brood frame removed, I do explain what that means, but just in essence so that you guys get it. When we're talking about brood, it's baby bees. When I say it's an excess, it means I've removed a frame of baby bees, and the reason I do that is to help the colony not feel crowded, because when colonies feel crowded, they have a tendency to want to swarm, and swarming, although is very cool and exciting for the bees, which is where half of the bees leave to start a new hive elsewhere, the other half remain. They also take with them half the honey and half the resources. So we kind of want to, as beekeepers, allow them to have the space that they need, not to feel crowded, and to minimize that risk. So you'll see this one here has quite a lot of brood frames that have been removed, and quite a lot of honey, but there's still a lot of brood obviously back in their hive as well. Now this is all going to be updated every time I visit the apiary, so keep a close eye on it. The other thing that I wanted to show you is in this merch section. Once schools have been completing their merch components, we've been uploading them. So you'll see Pellamaine's merch shirt here. You'll see Queen Beatrix, so that's Cessnock West. And I know I've got a number of emails from a number of other schools that are still in the process of deciding which is the one. But I wanted to show you how this all looks. So you'll see you've got a front and back design for each of them. You get to pick the colors as well. And then they're up there. Now remember, the winning designer or design team that submits their efforts, if it's selected to be listed on the website, we need to prototype that. So we're making a shirt for that person or people, just to, I guess, check that the design works in reality. It's one thing to design it on a computer, and it's another thing to see it on a shirt. So these people have their shirts have been ordered and will be delivered very soon, but just super excited to see them coming through. There's a lot of designs that aren't up there yet, but this is where it will live. So in the merch section, under student designs, and once you click it, you can go through. You see that it gets listed as a kid shirt, a men's shirt for maybe mums and dads, and then a women's shirt. So there's those three kind of models, and then different color choices, and it's the same for the men's and the women's, a few different colours as well. So, yeah, look, super proud, doing a great job. Keep them coming in. Can't wait to see all of those designs up on the website soon. Okay, last section of the Hive stream today, and that is our prize giveaway. This time, like every other Hive stream, who deserves this prize? Now, it's a bit of a random choice when it gets like this, but for this week, this time round, I've picked a class submission, and then I picked a student from within the class. So I often get work sample sent through from teachers to show me that they're completing their pollinator lessons, also their foundation lessons, and Valentine Public School sent me in a really, really great Q&A style PowerPoint where each of the students were required to research a topic and assemble their own slide, and then collectively it made for a really interesting watch. And I'm going to play that for the over the end credits now, but there was a slide in there that really piqued my interest, and it was around pollination and what other animals pollinate. Now, I know we're talking about bees, and that's really interesting topic in itself, but it's also really fun to learn about other species and what they do or what they can contribute in this space. Now, Denny from 6G at Valentine, you're the lucky prize recipient this Hive stream, and because of the level of effort and information you put into that slide around what other animals pollinate. Yes, bees are one of the most effective pollinators and do a really great job of it, and use the nectar that's offered by plants, turn into honey, and we love that. But Denny's slide actually goes a little bit into some of the other animals, and I did not know, as Denny has informed me, that giraffes are also essentially a pollinator. Maybe not as effective as bees. Well, definitely not as effective as bees, and they certainly couldn't reach many of the pollen that is on offer from a variety of the plants. But there you go, impressed me. Nice slide, great job. Prize pack coming for you. And for this time, I'm allowing you to pick any of the merch designs. So student designs, lab designs, hero designs. Jump on the web, have a look through them. You might like the Halloween special zombie shirt design. You might like the Barbie shirt design that I've been wearing around to schools and everyone's been loving. You might like a combi design. You might like a hero design. You might like your own shirt design. Whatever it is, I'm happy to accommodate that as a prize. Jump on the web, have a look, pick your size, pick your shirt color, pick your style, let your teacher know, and let them get in contact with me, and I will place an order and look forward to handing that to you in school. But for now, that's the Hive stream done. I'm going to show you that slideshow that 6G prepared from Valentine with a bit of music as well. But thanks for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the term 4 craziness. Get back to it. Over and out.